Good morning, my fellow Africans and the world at large. This is Emmanuel Mensah, once again coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment all the way from the city of Brampton in Ontario, Canada. Today is the 18th of March, the year 2022, and the Bible says, "It is the day the Lord has made, and we should be glad and rejoice in it." And once again, I invite all the world to join me to be happy and to be grateful to God for the life that has been granted unto us. Life is beautiful, life is wonderful, and we need to enjoy it to the glory of God. Today, I am going to speak to you about another universal law, and the law is the universal law of correspondence, which is commonly stated as within, so without. The universal law of correspondence states that whatever happens around us is a direct reflection of what is happening within us. In other words, your life is from within to the outer, but not from the outer to the within. So everything that you're experiencing in your life is something that is cooked within you, that is being brought to you in its prepared stage. It is your own creation. And we need to be aware and have complete knowledge about this law. And once we are conscious and we are aware, we have the knowledge that we create our own realities, we'll be able to take control of our inner states. And as we develop the right thing there, the right thing will appear in the outer. So once again, the law is the law of correspondence, otherwise stated as within, so without, as above, so below, as in heaven, so in on earth. So today I'm going to begin my discussion, and I want to bring in a new or an example which is common to most of us that are grown, all of us that we grew up in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s, before the coming or the emergence of digital processing of films or photography. We have a good understanding, and even the younger ones have a good understanding of what I'm talking about, and that is photographic film developing. And I'm going to use this as an example to represent who you are, how you operate as a human being, and how we make our realities from within to the outer. And anyone that has ever studied or even read about how a film is used in a camera and how it goes into the developing room for it to be developed, you will get a good understanding of it. And once you understand this and you place this on yourself from the subconscious mind and the conscious mind perspective, you have a full understanding of who you are and how you operate, and your life you can conduct your life in such a way that only good and happiness will be in your life, for you are the creator and at the same time the receiver of your own creation. So in the photographic film technology, we have a camera, and the camera takes in a film. The film and the camera is used to capture the image. So you take the image, and now when you take the image, the condition to this arrangement is that the film must not be exposed to light. As soon as you expose the film to light, you've distorted everything. So this film has to be taken into or to the one who develops it. And when he takes the film, he goes into what they call a dark room. So it is in the dark room that the film is processed. And once you have the film in its original state, no dent, nothing on it, the image that will be produced through this process will be exactly as you took it. And so, what you took in the inner chambers of the dark room, the pictures have been cooked for you. And then you look at the pictures and you say, wow, this is beautiful. That is what I want or I wanted. And so you will see that the development of the film is, even the capturing and the development is done from within to the outer. But the process began by using the camera to capture the image. As soon as you capture the image, all the development process is done from within to the outer. And that is our lives. Every human being, your camera is your conscious mind that you use to interact with your five senses. So you will see things and your mind captures it just as the camera captures it. And the film is processed or is properly taken care of. And as you emotionalize all these images that you are capturing, it goes down into the subconscious mind, which represents the dark room. And once the subconscious mind gets these images in its right form as you took them, it takes it and prepare it in the dark. And then in your outer world, it appears just as the one who processes your images brings these images to you. So your life mirrors this process. Actually, those who came about with this process knew about what I'm talking about. And that is why they mirror this process. So whatever you are seeing in your life by the power or by the operation of the law of correspondence, whatever you are creating in the inner will come out in the outer. But the truth is that it begins with from the outer. That is your conscious mind capturing the images. So if you are living or if you in your life, you are only dreading what you capture is what? Negative, distorted images. Then it goes into the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, which is a faithful and a dutiful servant, will only produce this image as you give it to it and bring it back into your outer world. And that is how every human being operates. And now, once we know this truth and we know who we are, that you have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the camera. It captures all these images and then it takes it into the dark room, which is the subconscious mind. It produces the images back into your life. You know that by the law of correspondence, you cannot run away from this process. So all that you have to do is to take control of what you allow into yourself. And that is your subconscious mind. And as within, so without is a reality, it's a true law that governs every human being. And so when we bring this into our daily lives, we can create everything that we want by our own creative power. And what I'm talking about is what we call using your creative imagination. So today I'm going to talk about imagination. The way we take our images into the subconscious mind is by the process of imagination. Every human being has the ability to make images in his mind. And the images that you create in your mind goes into your subconscious mind. And when the subconscious mind takes it, it brings it back into your outer world. So if you go to bed And all you can think of and imagine is how the following day your day will be miserable. Your day will be this and that and that. Your subconscious mind will faithfully and dutifully process these images for you. And sooner or later, these images will be presented to you as your reality. But if you can use your imagination to capture loving and wonderful images, even if you are lying in the most difficult situation, and you are able to rise above this situation and use your imagination to imagine the life you want to be, your subconscious mind would take, or your conscious mind would take these images and give it to your subconscious mind, as it is in the photographic filming processes. And then the images, the life you have created from within will come in the outer. And that is why Albert Einstein, the great scientist, made a statement. And according to Albert Einstein, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. These are the words of Albert Einstein. And that brings us back to why other people are able to create and make beautiful things and other people are not. It is about our understanding of this process. This is different from academic education. The academic education we pass through only gives us the ability or the knowledge of how to do A and B and C. But the ability to create from within to make things happen on the outer, it doesn't. And that is why we have a lot of educated derelicts, poor people. And that is why it is normally stated that the poorest people are in the universities, the lecturers and the professors. They have the knowledge, but the ability to use the imagination to make the knowledge a reality, to create images and to bring it into the outer, they lack it. And so if you go down into history, you will realize that all the greatest inventions, all the greatest discoveries that the world have seen came from people that no one actually considered them to be anything. They knew. They stumbled upon this, what I'm talking to you, I'm sharing with you, and without any resistance. When the academicians, they have a high level of resistance because of what they think they can do. They can read, they can write, all of that. But that is not what we are talking of. What we are talking of is to have a faith which is more or less like what Jesus said, that a childlike faith. Create the images regardless of your situation, and then faithfully hand over the images to your subconscious mind like a child and drop it to sleep. Do this persistently with faith, unwavering faith. Eventually, whatever you have cooked within you will come out by the law of correspondence. So as within, so without. So when you go to any place and you see the place beautifully created, it didn't just come because God brought it there, but it came through people's mind. It came out of people. So if you go to United Kingdom and you go to Canary Wharf, you go to any part of the London and you see so beautiful. All those things you are seeing came out of human beings. They used their creative imagination to imagine it in their minds, within themselves. And as this imagination or the pictures materialized by the work of the subconscious mind and by the work of the law of correspondence, these things appears in the outer world. And it is the same way when you come to Africa. I'm a Ghanaian, and I know what happens in Ghana. That is one of the greatest disaster in all our, but is a disaster, or I would say one of the greatest problem, the challenge to Ghanaian people is what is in the capital. The Odo River is kind of one of the dirtiest place you can go. So when you come and you see those things, it is a true reflection of what Ghanaians, both leaders and followers, old and young ones, have been able to emotionalize and projecting it into the world. If we really have the ability to use our creative ability, these things would have come out to be more invention. If we are to bring other people from somewhere to live where we are in Accra now, Accra will be turned into something different. And this is not about money. Money is a factor, but the idea must be established before money can come. We can go and do all that we want, but if you don't have this within you, it will not reflect in the outer. So, as within, so without. Development and all progress begins from within. And anyone that is able to create these things from within by the laws of his own being and the laws of the subconscious mind and the law of correspondence, it will eventually appear in the outer. The how and the resources to bring this out to fruition is not your job. Just leave it to the power within you, and everything will be aligned. And this is what every human being that has done something great used. So today I am bringing your attention to the powers that you have. You have the creative imagination. The only thing that we need to be awakened, to be aware of, and to be conscious of is to use this creative imagination, to use this power in a positive way. We have the ability to transform everything that we have or we see now in our lives as bad into good and prosperous life. In the same way, we have the ability to continue to create these sour and poor and bad conditions in our lives. It is not the work of anyone, but it is the work of your own self by the law of correspondence. So long as you continue to keep your inside unkempt, so long as you continue to brood over negative and distorted images in your life, those things will be projected in your lives. And again, if we bring this into the African life, you will see that we have created all these things in our lives. As a young man, a woman, both in the olden days, if you happen to have an idea, something that is not is almost different from what your parents or the elders know. If you share it with them, they will tell you this is not normal. Let us go and see the ghost. Let us go and see the fetish priest. And they will perform rituals over you. Some people too, they had the idea, but for the fear of being eliminated, they died with it. So the African never used his creative imagination. All we do is to sit down and pray and wish that things will fall from heaven onto our lands. But that is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. And it is the same way. We can take money from anywhere and bring people from different places to come and, tie our roads, put up the best buildings in our cities and towns. They will crumble because we do not have it within ourselves. And it is going to be a contradiction of what is within us, because you live your life from within to the without. So today, my fellow African, my fellow brothers and sisters, I am bringing this message and I'm calling upon you to wake up right now and begin to seek the knowledge and understanding of how you operate. You are a powerful human being, and your life is created, molded, and shaped in the inner chambers of your subconscious mind, exactly as the dark room of the photography. And when you have a good, just as when you have a good film, you get good pictures. In the same way, the film, the program you have within you will give you exact pictures, exact life that you have on it. And there is no other way. There is no way to circumvent this, and you cannot even do that because it's a law. So the law of correspondence is true. And so if we want to change what we are seeing now, then it is about time we begin to work we begin to work from ourselves from within. And that begins by understanding that you are a powerful human being. You have a mind. The mind has the conscious and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is your camera that captures images. Whatever images that you are seeing, it captures it. So if you see anything and you classify it, you define it as bad, it captures it as a bad image. If you see something and you classify it as wonderful, it captures it as a wonderful image. And those that you dominate, the dominant ones that you fill with emotions, goes into the subconscious mind and it comes back to you as your life. So your life is from within to the without. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle. So long as you keep on producing the same images, you are going to get the same results. And that is why in our lives, you will see that in our individual lives, if you look in some families, people do say that I have done all that a human being can do or is supposed to do, but nothing appears to happen. It's like you are climbing a mountain that is bigger than your strength. It's like you are swimming against a very huge wave or a huge current. All you have to do is to stop and begin to analyze your life and begin to think and reset your own internal state. And as you do, you'll see that everything will become perfect. And as I said yesterday, we are flowing in the direction of the universe. And so long as you are within the borders of the law and not going against it, you are safe. Though the road may be rough, but once you have the faith and determination to hold on, you are safe. You will definitely arrive safely and life will be joyous and prosperous. This is how we create our lives. And if bring it to collectively as nations, as communities, whatever we dwell upon, whatever we come together to be our dominant beliefs becomes what we are going to create. And so what we believe within ourselves is what is going to reflect in our lives. So if you go back to our villages and towns, money is a factor, but you don't need money to make things in a perfect way. The ability to use your mind to think that if I cut this and that with even the crude implement I have and put a lot of thought into it, I can make it work and be beautiful. You can do it. And let us not forget that quality is not a one-time process, a one-time thing. It's a process. You create the first thing in its crude form, then you keep improving upon it. It is your ability to use your creative imagination to make these pictures and to bring this at this elementary level that will attract people to come and help you with their money. No human being, no investor will even be ready to spend his money in an idea that is not conceptual, that is not physical in the real world. So the idea is your own idea, is in you. You can describe it in any way, in any document to anyone. The fact is that you are the only person that knows exactly how the blueprint is. And the blueprint is in your subconscious mind. And if you submit it to the subconscious mind, it will find ways and means to get it out of the world. And the way we do this is to apply faith. To apply faith and determination to hold on. You use your imagination to create your pictures. And once you have your pictures with them, always go to bed with them. Always think of them and rejoice and have that. That is what in Africa or in a general view, they will say you are building castles in the air. Yes. Build castles in the air with purpose. If you build castles in the air without any understanding, without knowledge, then you are a failure. But if you know what I'm telling you, you know who you are, that you are the creator of your own realities, build castles in the air and dwell in those castles in your mind. And those castles will come out into your life. And those who are laughing at you will say, hey, how did it happen? And that is when they will see how foolish they've been. They will see how ignorant they've been. So there is nothing that we can do. We now have the academics. We have all these qualifications. We have all the people with different titles in academics. We know, look, Africans, we have attended the best universities in the whole world, but yet nothing is coming out of our lands. And the reason why this is happening is what I'm telling you. And Marcus Garvey, the son of Africa, he actually gave us the clue. And according to Marcus Garvey, God and nature first made us what we are. And then out of our own creative genius, we make ourselves what we want to be. That is an African who made the statement. And that is exactly what I'm saying to you. There is no way that we can transform our cities. We can change our nations and our situation by borrowing money, by calling people to invest in our lives, except by developing our own creative imagination and begin to understand the laws that governs us. If we know that life is from within but not from without, we will not be running up and down to places and that we will no more be accusing people as the cause of our woes. We will no more be accusing evil spirits. But we will take intelligent actions in our mind to create whatever we desire, and it will come to pass in our lives. So that is our lives. That is the human being's life. That is your life. That is my life. That is how everything is done. And it is about time we rise up. And as I've been saying, my calling is to bring this knowledge and to bring this empowerment to you. And it is my belief and determination, and it is my prayer that this will land on receptive and open minds. If we don't have anything to worry about, we can just take a cursory look into our lives from A to Z, and it will dawn on you that all that we have been doing is not the right way. We are swimming against the flow of life. And this is the time we have to swim in the direction of life. And life will be beautiful. Life will be joyous. Africa will be a place that every human being from any corner of the world would love to come. And the desire is for us to dwell together. We have all other people amongst us living together side by side, just as our own people. All of us have migrated from Africa to other places. And that is when we say Africa has reached a level of enlightenment, and Africa is actually matching up with other parts of the world. Until then, we remained undeveloped and unenlightened. But I know that by the power of God in us, all of us have been awakened to our creative power. And once again, invoking the words of Marcus Garvey, that God and nature first made us what we are. And then, out of our creative genius, we make ourselves what we want to be. When every African on our mind, both individually and collectively, we know what we want to be. And this is the time for us to rise up to create exact life that we want to be, such that it will be to the glory of God. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Mensah. I am the co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. The Eagle Mentality Group is an organization that is dedicated to the teaching and the propagating of the message and the knowledge and understanding of the power of the subconscious mind. and universal laws. It is our determination and it is our desire to create Africans alike that think in a different direction, that think and act in a different way as we have now, to create a new Africa and a new black race. And we know it is already been done. For when the carnal man says it cannot be done, the man with vivid imagination declares it is already done. So may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars from falling on us keep and lead you. The same presence of God that keeps the planet within their orbit without clashing with one another lead and direct you, guide you as we all work towards the attainment and the realization of the new Africa and the new black race. Thank you, and God bless you.